The perfect baseball off-season workout program doesn't exist. Just kidding. I've played 3 years of D1 baseball and 7 years of pro ball. I've been doing baseball specific lifts for over 10 years. Let's go over an upper body day that is specifically for baseball players. By the way, you can actually download this lift down below in the description. All right, so let's get into it. So this is an upper body lift that I give out to all of my students every single month. And as you can tell, this is for December. I believe this was December of last year. On a Tuesday, this is an upper body lift. And as you can see, it's pretty cool, right? We have bench press, we have push-up, plyo push-ups. Everything is very, very structured as far as sets, reps. You can actually print this out right in weights. But obviously, to make this user-friendly for all of my students, which I think is really cool, and honestly is turning into an industry standard in the game of baseball, is if you click on any of these links, as you can tell, it opens up a video on specifically how to do that lift, right? So as you can tell, this is a variation of bench press where we're really engaging our core. We're actually even activating our hamstrings a little bit. So even though this is an upper body lift, we are going after different areas of our body as well. That way we're connecting the core with the upper body, because ultimately we never want to become a bodybuilder where we're lacking mobility, we're lacking the efficiency of that move. So that way we're really connecting the dots. So a lot of you guys probably aren't following a baseball specific program, and that is completely okay. And that's what this video is used for. So as you can tell, we also use blocks on the left side. And that's something that I really want to go over right now, because it's a very important concept for all of you guys to understand. So as you can tell, we have block A, we have block B, we have block C, and we have block D. Typically, 4 blocks is like enough, right? In any type of lifting program. Obviously, the volume can either be increased or decreased depending on the time of the year. So in the middle of the summer, in July, when it's hot, it's humid, you're playing a ton of games in the travel ball circuit, does it make sense to lift 6 days a week? No, right? And this is the same concept that I've used in pro ball and all the strength coaches that I've been around, especially like, let's say in spring training. It's very hard to get lifts in because we're working out every single day. We're doing drill work, skill work, we're hitting, we're throwing, we're playing in games, right? So this is us trying to get into baseball mode, and working out in the gym isn't a priority in spring training, whether you want to believe that or not. It is important to maintain those muscles that we grew in the off season. And then throughout the season, the same concept is applied to maintain that muscle, right? So as you can tell, let's just go over like block by block and really think about the higher concepts of what's going on here. So think about this. So we have block A right here. We have block B, we have block C, we have block D, right? So block A, this is going to be where we get our main lift in, right? So that could be, a bench press, that could be a squat, that could be a lunge. Ideally, this is also when we want to go heavy, because this is ultimately when we have the most energy to put into those main lifts, right? And the way that we want to do those blocks is really 1 and 2, right? So think like an upper body, you can go like a push and a pull. Ideally, we want to be heavy on both of those because, again, we have the ability, we have the energy stored in our bodies after, a warm-up to be able to actually put full energy into this, right? So if we, let's say, flip-flop this and put block A down here on block D, our bodies are going to be naturally tired, right? This is also important if we ever do any type of sprint work. We always front load it, because if we put the sprint work at the very end of our day, guess what? We're not going to be as explosive. It just doesn't make sense. And then this is also a concept that I've learned between the strength coaches that I've been able to surround myself with is, so sometimes we're going to couple the exercises inside of a block like a push and a pull, but then sometimes we're going to also couple it like a heavy and a fast, right? And this really applies to the concept that I like to teach even in my velo and throwing program course inside the academy, where really we're doing the heavy exercise to build strength. We're doing the fast exercise to build explosiveness, quick twitch actions, right? So that's kind of like the overview of how blocks are really designed on a case by case, right? Every single month obviously is going to be different. Block 2, this is going to be where we focus on maybe not necessarily the main muscle. So think, for an upper body would be like a push and a pull. This could be obviously if we do a think like a heavy dumbbell bench press coupled with a fast plyo push-up. Block B might be row, and then coupled with maybe a little bit more of a functional movement. And what exactly is a functional movement? Well, it is designed specifically for the needs of being a baseball player. So if you aren't necessarily understanding what those movements are, don't worry, because in high school, I didn't know what those movements are either. Block C, more times than not, this is going to be where we're doing some type of like potentially some arm care, especially if it's an upper body day. We want to be doing some functional movements for that as well. So we'll do some arm care in here as well. And then block D, this is where we really put into like core, and really it's going to be like more of like a full body core exercise. So even though it is core where that is the focus, we're going to incorporate maybe a lower body and then also an upper body movement as well. And sometimes that block D, maybe there's 3 exercises, 2 sets of each exercise rather than 3 sets or 4 sets, right? So I wanted to kind of go over that exactly for you guys to really understand. And then going back into this, we can kind of see now as I zoom in, we have a solid push right here with a bench press. And again, that's going to be dumbbells, hips off of the bench. That's going to be 4 sets of 6. And then we're going to be doing a plyo push-up. So that, again, kind of you understand that the plyo push-up, for those that don't know, isn't a quick twitch movement. We want to be pushing up quick. We're not going to be doing a ton of weight. This is going to be that explosiveness move. And that's all for block A. Block B, this is where we do a dumbbell row. We're going to be doing 3 points, 2-second pause at each point, and we're going to be doing that for 3 sets of 8. Landmine press, that's going to be another kind of like a full body press in a way, but we're going to be doing that in a landmine split stance, right? So we're going to be doing those individually for each arm. Again, 3 sets of 6 each arm. All right. Now we're going to be doing a little bit more of that functional movements. 3 sets of 3 sets of 10 for a half kneeling high cable row. And then we're going to be doing a rotational wood chop. Again, another very functional movement for the sport of baseball, 3 sets of 6. And then block D, we're finally going to have hammer curls and tricep pull downs. This is going to be really to build the overall arm, right? We don't want to just have massive shoulders or a really strong UCL or forearm, right? We want to build the complete package, right? So this is an upper body day. It is just specifically for upper body, used in the off season. Again, guys, December, Tuesday, this is an upper body day. This is for phase 2. We do block up our workout programs into different phases, and they're all going to be written by actually that New York Mets strength coach that you saw in the video earlier in this video. But the different phases, for those that are interested on how we write our programs, it's depending on the time of the year, right? Like I mentioned, in July, this is not going to be the workout program that our students do. It's just not, right? Because our students are going to be playing baseball, and we take into account your typical baseball player in the state of Florida, Texas, California, Arizona, maybe the Carolinas, right? We don't take into account what your baseball season looks like in, Maine, because the weather is just not the best. You're probably not playing a ton of baseball, and you're not necessarily going to be super specific on your workout regimen throughout the year, like, let's say, a state of Texas, right? So having something like this, you obviously can write in like how many, what were your max weight or something like that. And then that way, hopefully we can see that progression in, up and to the right. For more functional movements, let's say, for, a rotational wood chop, this is going to be like a lower weight. But again, it's really important that we incorporate that, because if not, we're not going to be understanding that what we do in the gym can actually translate over into the ball. If you like this video and you want to develop your skills, get noticed, and secure a scholarship, book a call with me down below in the description.